I had this necklace, like this crystal necklace, and basically I've worn it since 2018, and I took it off and I looked at it and I thought to myself, I can either hold it and jump or throw it into the ocean and ask for the ocean and for God to save my life. Hello everyone. If you've clicked on this video, you know that last week I nearly died. And it's such a weird thing to even comprehend because I never thought something like this would happen to me. I always just, when you hear of these stories, you think that they're nightmares that just happen to other people, but it can never happen to you. And I can honestly say now that after this has happened, my entire life has changed. I am dealing with the mental challenges that come from what I've been through, and I'm completely humbled by the human body's ability to heal. If you saw me a week ago, and I'm going to be inserting some clips and pictures throughout this video, but I was very broken last week. I am so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that my spirit is strong and I was able to communicate with God, and my partner was praying for me, and I managed to escape this awful situation. A week ago, me and my partner were on the beach. We were like tripping, having fun, and yeah, it was quite a fun experience. You know, I've never had a bad trip before. I've always enjoyed it. I've always, you know, had some laughs, and it's just never been like a very bad experience. But basically, as we started to kind of get further into the rabbit hole, so to speak, I became extremely paranoid. I actually thought that my partner was an AI robot. I thought that he was an undercover, like, Arabic police officer that was trying to arrest me and like steal my energy. I also had visions of a new earth being created and like being in the water, and in my like state I thought that I'd missed the opportunity to go into the new earth. So I got really paranoid. I said to my partner, we need to leave, and he was like, what's the matter? And he was getting a bit like, why are you freaking out? We're on the beach, like chill out. And I just wouldn't listen. And my response to this was to basically get completely naked and go into the sea. And yeah, I thought I was being shot in the ocean. I was told that my whole love life with my partner, who I love dearly, was a lie, and that I was basically now had two options. I could either go with this robot and be arrested and taken into this world, or I could die. So I ran away and I went into the ocean. I swam. Later I found out that I swam around 4 kilometers, and I swam basically to some rocks, and whilst under the rocks I hit my head. So we'll go into my injuries later, but basically I hit my head and I washed up on some rocks, and at this point I was very much not mentally there. I thought that I was trapped in a prison planet. I thought that the world had ascended without me. I was imagining that I was being trapped into this world whereby my energy was being stolen. I had a swollen hand, so I made the assumption that because it was my right hand, it was to do with my masculine, and I had a cut under my eye, and I thought that this was the left eye, which was a punishment for the feminine. There was like rubbish washing up against me, and I thought that this was further punishment. So I was genuinely, I was so like not there mentally, and yeah, I was in this state for quite a while, and I remembered like looking at the cliff, and I'm trying to climb the cliff, and I basically fell. So I just kept falling, and my body was broken, and I really started to hurt myself. But I just thought that I was dead already, or I thought that this was my punishment. I thought I was in a world where I couldn't die. So I was just like falling and really hurting myself, but not realizing fully. And there was points where I must have gone unconscious. I even remember like trying to sleep on the rocks to try and like, you know, fall asleep. But obviously the waves was like waking me up, thank God, and I kind of was coming round, and I sort of was realising that the ocean was my friend. I thought it was like a real merge of my spiritual beliefs versus the psychosis, because I thought that I'd like missed my life lessons on this earth. I thought that I would have to reincarnate on this earth again. I was really hoping that I could reincarnate as my best friend's baby, which later on I was like, that's weird, like that's not going to happen, because my best friend's already pregnant, she's due in like a short amount of time. So yeah, and basically the darkest moment that I will say is I had this necklace, like this crystal necklace, and basically I've worn it since 2018, and I took it off and I looked at it and I thought to myself, I can either hold it and jump or throw it into the ocean and ask for the ocean and for God to save my life. So I threw it in the ocean and I said, ocean, save my life, please. And from then on, I found myself to be, things slowly got better. I managed to get into the ocean. I managed to start swimming whilst in the ocean and feeling the sand. Obviously I wasn't feeling the rocks anymore, so my feet are completely cut up as well, so I was in a lot of pain. I realised I had an injury to my eye and to my head. I just sort of like slowly swam to the shore. Obviously I was completely naked. I managed to like go to some hotels and find a towel, and I put a towel around me and I took some water with me. I was asking for help from people, and some people didn't want to help me, which was really horrible. I even went to this hostel and I asked him for help and he was like, go away. And then yeah, I sort of remembered the songs that me and my partner sing. And I kind of was like looking at the signs, like there was always signs there, like when I was in the ocean I kept seeing this Native American man's nose and it was reminding me to breathe. And I was seeing birds and hearing dogs bark, and it was like the signs of life. So I think God was showing me the way. And when I was in the sea as well, I saw some lights and I was like, I'm gonna go towards the light, I'm gonna go towards the light. And I was just hoping to find a friend, and I was like, I really need a friend right now. And I found this man on a moped, and basically he was with this girl, and I said, look, I don't want to ruin your night, but like, is there a way that you could like help me get to my hostel? And he was like, sure. So at first he was kind of a bit unsure about whether to take me or not, but I managed to sort of say, listen, don't leave her on her own, I don't want her to be on her own, like can you just help me? And I managed to go in the moped, and he actually drove me to the police, which really freaked me out because obviously my visions of everything happening was like really dark, to do with authority and being arrested. The police were looking at me like, oh, you're the guy, and they were showing me pictures of me, and I said, oh, what time is it? And they were like 2 a.m. So I'd actually been in the ocean for 7 hours, and at that point my partner came to me. Obviously he was deeply sad, like he was crying, we were both crying, but he was so happy that I was alive. He said that my lips were grey, and yeah, we got into the police car and we went to the hospital. I was really scared. I was like, am I in trouble? He was like, no, you're a victim, it's fine, like just everything's gonna be fine. And I guess surrendered to what was then gonna happen to me. I like went into the hospital. Luckily, thanks to God, I had no broken bones and no fractures. I just had a lot of cuts all over my body and some soft tissue damage. So yeah, I was you can look at the pictures, I was in a very vulnerable state at this point. And basically I had stitches in my head, stitches in my shoulder, stitches in my knee, stitches in my eyebrow, and just went for an x-ray and scans, and you know, as I say, they said that I had no broken bones or fractures or internal bleeding, which is amazing. And my partner was just telling me how whilst I was at sea, he prayed, he lit candles, he prayed to the virgins, he prayed to Shiva, he said, Drew, come towards the light, Drew, come towards the light. And when he said that, it really struck a chord for me, because I remembered at that point when I was like, Drew, come towards the light. And he said he saw me and he knew that I was around, and I just feel so grateful to have a partner that used prayer and to like get me to safety, and he never gave up on me. The hardest part was the police, because they found a note in my wallet that said que grosero, which means rude in Spanish, and I have no idea why it was in my wallet. It was just a note that I had like from ages ago, but they basically thought that was a suicide note. So I had to, speak to the police and say like, I'm fine, I just went for a swim, like it's nothing to do with my mental health. But then it was also the realization of like, it is to do with my mental health in a way. I need to form a stronger mentality to not allow this to affect me. So I've started going to therapy. I think before this happened, I was always very open-minded when it comes to plant medicines. But I think we do take substances as a distraction from ourselves. When I actually am very honest, even my smoking habits of smoking nearly every day for the past 4 years, I really want that to come to an end and let that go. Because I realise that these things that you take and these things that you do are actually habits you form as a distraction to work on yourself. And it's not easy to be a human and to live. And I'm not judging anyone for smoking and doing these things, but I think if you look a bit deeper as to why do you do that, I think maybe there's an answer there that you're avoiding, because it's easier to just numb yourself. But I don't want to numb myself. I want to feel everything. I want to work on my traumas, work on my scars from my childhood, and I want to better myself. And I want to live the best possible life and be the best possible version of myself. What this experience has taught me is to just really be vulnerable and to surrender. We need to acknowledge these feelings. We need to hug and look in the mirror and not be constantly in need of a distraction, like our phones, vapes, cigarettes, weed, hallucinogenics, like all these drugs, like all these things are just distractions. And I think when we actually find time, I've been forced to find time and sit there in how I've been feeling, but I think working through this can actually make you a lot more happy. Like, I feel so grateful right now for the little things, like being slow and making myself dinner and painting, and these really small things actually bring me a lot of joy. So my recovery's, a lot of it's been about going inwards and reflecting and finding the gratitude in the everyday occurrences, and also, allowing others to show me love, friends and family saying that they love me and me feeling so grateful for my life. I think gratitude is the answer. Whenever we feel frustrated or down, I think gratitude and shifting our perspective can make us feel so much better and so much lighter. So yeah, the human body's amazing. I've recovered so much, and I'm going to continue to recover and do more spiritual work, do more meditations, do more yoga, and to really just live more of a healthy, stronger life with my body, not taking my body for granted. And I'm just very grateful to God and for the universe and my spirit and my guides and that my angels, everyone that looked out for me that night, for showing me my strength to not allow myself to do the unthinkable thing that in a normal day I would never do. I would never consider doing that, but I was in so much pain and I wanted it to end. And I think if I was weaker, maybe I would have done, but there was something inside me that said no. And I think that was God communicating with me and telling me to not do that. So I'm feeling very strong within my spirit. Obviously, I'm allowing my body to heal, and I'm taking my time with the healing process. I never thought that something like this could ever happen to me, and now it has happened to me. It has changed my life. And I know a lot of people are scared to talk about God, or they're they get put off because they think of Christianity and these very strict religions, but God is real. And actually the next day, there was a power cut in the village and there was no power. And I was talking about my experience with my friend. I was saying, oh, I'm really sad, this bad thing happened, but I need to remind myself that it was a good thing. I'm here, I'm alive, I'm speaking about it. God is real, praise God. And as soon as I said praise God, all the lights turned on. So this has really like illuminated my path towards a more spiritual existence. And a lot of the time, like, I think like doing meditation and doing yoga, it makes us a bit more sensitive. So I think if you are on this path of like higher knowledge, just make sure that you're very, very grounded, because if you do something like LSD or mushrooms or whatever, even smoking, like that can actually push you into a bad place. So life is so precious, and I think we need to really honor ourselves and listen to the higher voices that are there, and to avoid distractions. It's crazy how things can go so bad so quickly, but you are so strong, and there is a light inside of you that is so, so strong. And if you listen to that light, and if you listen to God and your angels and the universe, these messages will come to you. I'm so grateful, as I say, to my partner. I love him so much. He's really helped me like heal. He's bought me moringa, he's like rubbed aloe vera on my body, he's helped me shower, he's given me food. Like, he is amazing. And I think that this experience has almost been like an ego death for me. It's really made me look at life in a completely different way. I feel a lot more empathy towards people with mental conditions, because things like going through something like psychosis is just, you know, if this was an everyday experience, I don't know, it must be so hard for these people. So mental health is very important, and we need to like not look for these quick fixes with plant medicine, and actually like sit with ourselves and really try to go into what we're going through in order to feel better. Yeah, I guess I've just realized how important it is to listen to your spirit and to prioritize your health, look after your body, think about what you put into your body, like food, any substances, and just your body is so precious, and your mind is as well. So I'm hoping to share more of this kind of like self-love journey, and I'm also going to really just be kind to myself and allow myself to heal and to grow from this experience. So yeah. So thank you for watching. I hope this video has somehow inspired you, or, you know, made you think about stuff. Don't take life for granted. As I say, I'm very happy to be here. I don't think it was a bad thing. I actually think it was a very good thing. It's changed my life for the better, and I see how strong my spirit is, and the power of God is very strong also. And yeah, I feel like my faith in everything has been strengthened so much. I want to set better boundaries with myself, to say no and to be sober, and to also not listen or care about others' opinions. Before people comment anything in the comments, I just want to say, like, you don't know, you've not been through this, so this is my story and my experience, so be mindful of that. But I love you so much, and please subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.